Good morning, everyone. David speaking. It is 6 minutes past 10 on the 21st of April, Tuesday, the 21st of April. Not a great deal has changed in terms of the trends on the UK market since we last spoke last Friday, and I spoke to the VectorVest customers on Monday afternoon. Short-term trend is up. We've got a green light, and there's a black star flashing at me in the green light. Tells us that the short-term trend is up day over day, week over week, and momentum is rising. However, the strength and the momentum of the short-term trend not great, and VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. Very good advice indeed. Buy-sell ratio starting to move up a little bit, but still with on its knees at 0.18. So as I've pointed out, right throughout the world, markets in fact rising in very, very poor volume, very, very poor breadth indeed. Short-term trend up, longer-term trend down, and we've still got a confirm down. Conservative investors should still be standing and waiting and plotting. So I've loaded the VectorVest composite, which is this chart. As you can see, I put on the buy-sell ratio. The buy-sell ratio moving up a little bit. Markets have moved up. Many of our subscribers have noted that the UK market's percentage retracement hasn't been nearly as strong as the US market, in particular not nearly as strong as the Nasdaq. Nevertheless, it has moved up. I've got the DEW signals on here, and the DEW gave a signal about a week ago, I think on the 6th of April, and I'm holding positions based on that. There's quite a nice trend line here, folks, under these lows with 3 touches. That's a strong trend line with 3 touches, and certainly if I saw a red light on the color guard and I saw prices breaking down below this last swing low, I would get very worried indeed. For the moment, I'm still holding those UK positions. Stock market's off a little bit this morning, but certainly a break of that trend line, a close below these lows, and I think that I would need to look very carefully at the positions that I've got. Those positions haven't changed since Friday. We'll have a look at them again here. If I can find them under viewers, there we are, holding those positions. And I'm quite sure they've come off a little bit this morning as the general market was down the last time I looked. Polymetal still doing very well. That's a chart that I particularly like because it seemed to be moving into a flag pattern here, and a break out of that little flag could quite easily produce another £5 move. In other words, this bit is repeated, so that's something that looks quite strong indeed. The rest of them I'll have to watch very carefully, but for the meantime, holding them as long as the market in fact stays above that trend line, and the methodology that I'm using to get into those trades is the DEW market timing system. In the US, folks, there's the US, the situation. Remember, the US open when we're closed, and the US in fact closed very weakly on Monday the 20th, and as you can see, the number of declines twice that of the advances. Although the primary wave is up, the underlying trend is down, and we've got no green light, we've got no black star. So the situation in America, because of that extra bit of trading last night when we were closed, deteriorated significantly. I've still got positions there, I've still got some spread bets there, but those are leveraged, and I need to be exceptionally careful about those. So let's have a quick look at, in this case I'm looking at the SPX, the S&P 500. And again, I've drawn a trend line. It's not 3 touches this time. That was that bad close that we had on Monday, and it's off. The futures are off 200 or 300 points at the moment. I think that as long as we're above this line, we're okay. I can put on the DEW, and the DEW in fact came in on the 6th of April, just here, and those positions that I'm holding have moved up very strongly since that. And holding a few positions in the US. I spoke about them to the VectorVest subscribers yesterday. And if I look on viewers, watch list viewer, I have them loaded onto this one. And those are the positions that I'm holding. AMD, dollar, Newmont, Van Eck, GDX, so 2 gold stocks within this, and Microsoft. And if I put up those stocks and just chart those, there we are. Lots of lines on here. You can see that I'm a technician. And if we look at it over the last 6 months, and I put on the DEW, which I'm using, there's the DEW buy signal, and at the same time it broke above that old high, and I felt that that was quite a no-brainer there as the market broke above that high. And we can put on the VectorVest stop loss. Stop loss was down there, and as you know, as soon as I've made as much as I've risked in this environment, get my stop to entry, maybe take a few, let the other half run, and that's what I'm continuing to do. So in all of those bets that I've spoken about, that's dollar index, pretty much the same thing as it broke above that high. Newmont Mining again broke above these highs at the same time. So, and I really like this, same as we saw in polymetal, this little coiling, and this can easily go an awful lot higher if the gold price in fact starts to move. It says that's the GDX. And this is Microsoft itself, again broke above that high, and moving up quite nicely. So that's what I've been up to. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that today is an incredibly important day, and that what was the SPX, and that we're going to get a decision from this market one way or the other today. So every technician in the world is saying that this support is going to become resistance. There's a fib level somewhere up around here as well, that we're actually going to test these lows and much below it. So an awful lot of bearish opinion around. Clearly the oil price debacle yesterday, which is not nearly as mysterious as many of the financial journalists would like us to believe. As that contract rolls over, all sorts of funny things happen. So you can see that the next contract, the June contract, in fact, is back up to about $20 a barrel again. So a lot of negativity around, so just watch it today. In both the UK and the US, I'm watching stops very carefully indeed, because I think there's still a high probability that will, in fact, even under the most optimistic circumstances, I think that there's a high probability that will at least pull back a little bit, maybe not take out the lows, but certainly come down to 78% of that, even under the most optimistic scenario. So just watch your stop losses very carefully, folks, and if the situation changes between now and the open tomorrow, I'll do another one of these videos tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. I hope it helps.